cock your pistols.
It appears you have met your match, my brother.
Have you ever thought of teaching your son the value of humoring his elders, my king? I have not won a single game this entire trip.
Can it be so, Ali?
If I let him win, Father, he will lose respect for me. Besides, losing to Uncle Fahad would be almost impossible. I mean, I've been so lucky on this trip, I don't think I could have lost to anyone.
Well, you see, he admits it's luck. Maybe it's time to change it. One more game, little Ali.
Hi, Buck.
Abdul, how are you? How's everything going on the King business?
Having its ups and downs. How does it look?
Smooth. Clear as a bell all the way in. They'll have us on the ground in Los Angeles in a half hour.
The people are waiting for us, aren't they?
Come on, I wish you'd stop worrying, okay? We won't even have to go through the airport. I got a car meeting us right at the tarmac.
I should have known you'd take care of it. You always do.
This one's to Russ Miller, VP Marketing for Hotel and Casino Division.
Almost have you home. I must say, Jessica, you're very convincing as a top-notch business lady. Always working, dictating.
Well, I wish I'd been able to convince you to build a hotel in your country. However, I appreciate the ride. Halfway around the world's a long way to hitchhike.
First one who moved is dead. This is a kidnapping. Do as I say and you won't get hurt. You, boy, get into this parachute.
Please don't take the boy. Don't take the boy. Take me. I can be much more valuable to you for ransom.
Get into this parachute. I know you know how.
Get down! Get down!
No more talk or I'll kill that woman next.
Don't allow anyone else. I'll come with you.
Ali.
I'll be all right, Father.
Sit down, or you'll never see your boy alive again.
Don't take the boy. Please, I'll give you anything you want. Wait.
You'll be contacted tomorrow afternoon at the consulate.
Houston, I need to...
Yeah, fellas, let me get one more lap in, all right? 50 laps he swims every morning, rain or shine. Don't you think he'd be afraid of just wearing down to nothing?
Well, that's an idea. Maybe I'll just jump in there and swim and swim and swim, and then till there's nothing left of it.
Lamar, you can't swim.
I can learn.
Oh, fellas, listen, what's the problem? Did the heifers get out again?
Houston, I need getaway money.
Getaway money?
Yeah,
Lamar and I thought we might head down Bolivia way.
Oh, I see. And rob banks and trains like Butch Cassidy and Son. Fellas, what's going on?
It's Beulah. She's coming for me.
Beulah, your ex-wife?
She was 3-time all-Texas barroom brawling champ.
Yeah, I know. She was a big... Listen, I thought she remarried.
8 or 9 times that I know of. And I was only number 2.
Only in the telegram, she says that she thought it over and that she likes Lamar best, so she's coming back to get him, whether he likes it or not.
I was gonna tell Ron.
Listen, fellas, this is the United States of America. Things like that don't happen.
I
I knew it. It's too late already. She's come for me.
Oh, fellas, I think we got ourselves a whole nother problem here. Hey, listen, where are you going? What the hell's going on here?
Now, I just want to warn you about one little thing, Abdul. Houston is not the kind of man who likes to be dropped in on like this.
These some of your friends?
Actually, they're friends of Buck McCune.
Buck? What's he got to do with this?
Buck McCune works for me. He's also a friend. He said you'd be the best man to help me. I checked it out. He was right.
Houston, let me introduce you. This is King Abdul Ibn Hassim. Now, last night, his 14-year-old son was kidnapped from the king's own jet. In flight, Buck was the pilot.
Maybe in flight. You mean they parachuted?
Yes. I love my son very much, Mr. Houston. I need your help.
Well, I'll tell you something, Your Highness. I appreciate a father's love for his child. And being a friend of Buck's is not going to hurt you either. But I do not like talking at gunpoint. Bless you.
I can assure you, Mr. Houston, no offense was meant sending my security people here first. It's just that after the kidnapping last night...
Now, hold on a minute. Kidnapping. Now, I read the newspaper every morning. Now, how come I have not heard or seen anything about this?
That's because I can't afford to have your police or government involved. Political situations at home make it necessary for this to be handled in utmost secrecy.
How can I help your son?
My aircraft is only operated with top security measures in force. The only way the kidnapper could have gotten aboard last night was if someone already on the plane helped him.
Houston, the Royal Security Force gave us dossiers on all the people on board. Now, that information is being fed into Baby right now.
Well, Your Highness, I'll do the best I can. How can I get in touch with you?
At the consulate. The kidnappers are supposed to contact me there this afternoon. Mr. Houston, speed is of the essence.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Hello there, baby.
Now, besides King Abdul, there were only 6 other people aboard that flight during the kidnapping. So let's start with the kidnapped victim himself.
Alrighty.
You've got Ali Ibn Abdul. Now, he's the king's only son. He apparently is a very bright boy, goes to a prep school in England. Now, the next 2 men you can safely eliminate because both the co-pilot and the security guard were killed trying to prevent the kidnapping.
Sounds like we're kind of hurting for suspects.
Until we come to Fahad Ibn Hassim. Now, he is the uncle of the boy. He's the brother to the king. Now, their father, who was then king, died 18 months ago, and there was an incredible power struggle. And apparently, a lot of people were surprised when Abdul walked away with the crown.
Including Fahad?
A rumor has it he was plotting a military takeover.
Well, I think you better dig a little deeper on that one, CJ. I'd like to know exactly what happened and what went wrong.
You got it.
Who's next?
Next is Jessica Collier. Now, her father established Swingers International Empire, starting with the magazine, of course. And when he died last year, she took over.
What was she doing on the plane last night?
She was catching a ride home after a very unsuccessful trip. Apparently, she'd gone to see King Abdul about establishing a hotel casino in that country. Now, he liked the idea, but he didn't want organized gambling in his country.
Is there anyone else?
Just the pilot.
Good old Buck.
Frank Thomas Buck McCune, the kind of man people write movies about, bush pilot, soldier of fortune, that sort of thing. And now the confidant and private pilot to King Abdul.
You know, when I was 14, that man taught me how to box. When I was 15, he taught me how to fly. When I was 16, he saved my life in a mountain climb.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, I think I better find out exactly what happened on that plane last night, and I better start with Buck since he got us into this thing. Listen, have Murray check into the little lady's company. I'd like to know how it's been going since she took it over.
What, a company? No, I'm already a week behind.
Murray, don't worry about anything. I'll fill you in.
Yeah, well, CJ, call England. Talk to the boys' school. I'd like to find out how he's doing, especially in athletics.
You want CJ to call England to find out how a boy's doing in athletics?
Yeah. I'm a sports fan, Murray.
Matlock. Hey, old fuzzy Matlock. Oh, boy. Hey, take a look at that. Little old boy got himself a shiny new buggy.
Buck, I tell you, you haven't changed a bit since the last time I saw you, you son of a gun. Tell you something, it's good to have you in this one with me.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth, this one scares me.
Listen, your pal, the King, seems to think that the only way that kidnapper could have gotten on that plane is if he had some help from somebody that was already on board.
That's a fact. And the only place it could have happened was in New York. I put her down there for refueling. 20 minutes before I took off again, I secured the plane myself. I know nobody was on board then.
So within that 20 minutes...
Somebody got into the cargo area, released the hatch. I'll tell you, whoever it was knew what he was doing. Because he waited until I got over the Mojave and I brought the plane down to about 10,000 feet.
Listen, can you show me a map of where that happened?
Give me an hour so I can try to pinpoint it for you. Anything else I can tell you?
Well, if you can fill me in a little bit on Jessica Collier.
Oh, that lady. Well, now let's see. Does the word poison bring anything to mind?
Well, you're that fond of her, huh?
You always were a perceptive little devil. I'll tell you who was fond of her. Abdul. From what I hear, there were quite a number. Of course, that was before he became king. After that, he just kind of dumped her. At least that's the way the story goes.
Good look. But if we're really gonna make this work, you girls gonna have to be topless. And Henry, we'll take your shirt off too. Nothing wrong with a little beefcake. It's gonna be great. All right, JR, it's all yours.
Miss Collier.
Oh, you finally made it. Studio B. Through that door. Take your clothes off and I'll be with you in a moment.
Oh, well, I'm afraid there's been some mistake here. See,
Mistake? Honey, if you want to be a centerfold, get in there.
Yeah, I know, and take my clothes off. But, you see, my name's Matt Houston, and I'm working on the kidnapping that happened last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely got confused. Has there been any word? Do they know if Allie's all right?
Well, no, not yet, no.
Oh, God. Abdul lives and dies for that boy. Not to know if he's alive or if he even survived the jump. What do you want from me?
Well, I'll tell you just a little information. See, now, the person who abducted Ali had to have some help from inside that plane.
No, that's impossible. The only people on the plane were... I liked you better when I thought you were a centerfold.
Well, now, listen.
What you're saying is that we're all suspects, Mr. Houston. And I, for one, resent that.
Listen, Miss Collier, I'm just specifically concerned with facts here. Specifically, the 20 minutes on board that plane before it took off from New York.
Tony will see you out.
Come on now, that's not very friendly. I mean, tell me a little something about the hotel casino you wanted to build in Abdul's country. Now, some folks are saying those things are worth an awful lot of money. They're even saying that they're worth a king's ransom.
Tony, throw him out.
Listen, Hercules, where I come from, if you break it, you buy it.
We've got trouble. Name's Matt Houston.
listen, I'm sorry. Somebody's shooting at me over there. I'm sorry. Happy trails.
Guess which one is Sinbad the Sailor?
Who cares?
It would be Mr. Houston. I am Prince Fahad ibn Hassim Ahlu Sahla. I greet you in the name of my brother.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice of you.
Yanni. And you would be his beautiful assistant, Miss C.J. Parsons. My brother has told me of you also, but Allah Jabak, you are even lovelier than he scribed.
Well, thank you.
And he says you're a lawyer, too. It's so hard for me to... Come, Miss C.J. Parsons. I have something special for you.
But Prince Fahad, we really think it would be important to see the king, and Mr. Houston feels the sooner the better.
My brother is a king. He will see you when he will see you. It is this whole kidnapping business. It has him depressed. Very, very depressed, I'm afraid.
It doesn't seem to cramp your style much.
Ah, at last. A little token of my esteem for you, Miss C.J. Parsons. The diamonds and the rubies are from the mines once known as King Solomon. The gold... What does it matter where gold comes from?
Prince Fahad, thank you, but no thank you.
So, if this is what you Americans call hard to get, people who know me well, Miss C.J. Parsons, will tell you, I get what I go after. I do not tolerate the pain of disappointment well.
Well, this same disappointment that you don't tolerate very well, did you feel the same thing when your brother was chosen for king over you?
You are in luck, Mr. Houston. It seems my brother has chosen to see you now. The secretary will show you the way. Mr. Houston. Tell me, where did I go wrong with Miss C.J. Parsons?
Oh, well, that's easy. See, it was the diamonds and the rubies. See, I'll tell you what she really goes for is emeralds and pizza. Yeah, pizza from Mom and the Belly's restaurant. Oh, I tell you, she goes crazy for that stuff. Remember that?
Pizza?
Good afternoon. I understand you have met my brother, Prince Fahad. I had to warn you, Mr. Houston. He's not the fool he likes the world to think he is. He's a well-educated, intelligent, ambitious man.
Ambitious enough to kidnap your son? For some kind of power play, maybe?
I was hoping you would have found out something by now.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a few things. Somebody's not very excited about me working on this case. They took a couple of shots at me a while ago.
Yes, I know.
You do?
I was contacted by the people who are holding my son no more than 20 minutes ago. They also threatened that if you were to persist and get too close, they would kill Ali.
Well, how do you want to proceed? Or do you?
In my religion, Mr. Houston, we are supposed to turn toward Mecca and pray 5 times a day. The first time at the exact moment of sunrise. Now you say it might be difficult to know the exact moment, especially for desert people, without modern instruments. But over the centuries, we have found a way. And that is to lay 2 threads on the back of your hand, one black, the other white. And in that early morning moment, when you can distinguish the black from the white, you start your prayers. It's a very delicate balance, Mr. Houston. The sort of balance I hope we can attain in this situation. I desperately want to save my son's life. But I also must know who betrayed me.
Did they ask you for a ransom?
Yes, $1 billion. I've agreed to pay, on the condition that I talk to my son. They'll call again at 8 p.m.
Did you say 1 billion, as in 1,000 million?
Whoever they are, they did their financial homework. They're being drawn together right now in the form of $100,000 U.S. Treasury certificates. Now you know everything I know.
Yeah, well, almost everything. I just need to know exactly how much time do we have.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Come on, Your Highness, let's stop playing this little game. Now, how sick is your son? How long can he last without that medication?
How did you find out?
Something you said out at the ranch, it bothered me. I did some checking on it. Now, you took your son out of school right before the midterm examinations, and that's not right. Now, your son was a very fine athlete, and then just 3 months ago, he was excused from all physical activity on a medical waiver.
Yes, my son has a heart problem, something that only developed recently. I've been assured it could be corrected with surgery.
That's why you brought him here for the operation, huh?
Yes.
Why is there so much secrecy surrounding his ailment?
Unfortunately, Miss Parsons, I live in a country that sees weakness as a sign to attack. I was afraid that if it were known, some of my enemies would have taken advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I got a sneaking suspicion they already have.
Hey, Matlock.
How's it going, Buck?
Well, up until now, everything's downhill and shady. Then a whole army of cops and the FBI showed up. They got wind of this somehow. They claim an anonymous phone call. Anyway, they're swarming all over the plane.
Houston! Houston!
Oh, boy, you didn't talk to him, did you?
Not a word. Abdul's government is claiming diplomatic immunity, so technically they can't take any action. But I do think they might have a few plans for me, so I got to get moving.
Yeah, what about the map of where they jumped off
I got it. I'll meet you over to Hangar 4.
Gotcha. Vance!
Houston.
Vance, fancy meeting you here.
Look, Houston, if you're involved in this, you've got to tell me. I mean, it's too big. You're talking federal government, FBI.
Listen, Vance, sometimes there's questions friends shouldn't ask friends.
Is that bad?
Off the record.
Houston, you're gonna make me into a motorcycle cop again. Yeah, off the record.
It's got to do with the life of a 14-year-old boy, Vance. Now, if this breaks in the news media, he's gonna be dead. Now, there's a good chance that he's already dead.
Okay, you'll fill me in when you can?
As soon as I can, Vance. I'm gonna need your help, too.
Okay. Guess I'll go see how the big boys investigate.
What the hell are you trying to do?
Oh, I was trying to jam the elevator on that bird.
You okay?
Well, considering I just went trolling on the asphalt, I guess I'll be all right.
Okay, that's it, boys. No more free passes. Now you're both gonna have to talk. Houston, we have an aircraft belonging to a foreign government with bullet holes in it. And the foreign government is maintaining a diplomatic silence. The fault is there's a passenger manifest with a 14-year-old boy on it when it took off and not when it landed. The
Vance.
ugly word kidnapping comes to mind.
Vance, I need some time.
And what am I supposed to do with our friends from the FBI? Tell them that I was shooting at that airplane because I'm celebrating the 4th of July early?
Why don't you feed me to them? I can talk to them for days without ever telling them anything they want to know.
Now, that's fact I can attest. And, look, Vince, I know you're sticking your neck out on this one, but if you could just stick it out a little bit further.
What's 15 years on the force between friends? Just tell me, off the record, was there or wasn't there a kidnapping?
Yes, there was, Vince. Now, a 14-year-old boy and his abductor parachuted out of a plane somewhere over the Mojave. Now, Buck's got that spot marked on his map.
Point is, Mojave's a big place. Even if they timed their jump, there are too many variables, there's too much territory. They had to have beepers on those chutes.
That's right. They must have had a backup team on the ground, probably with a chopper to track down those beepers.
All right. I'll check and see if there's any choppers or light aircraft operating in the area last night.
Well, now the big question is, how do we get you out of here? I mean, even if you go out that window, they're going to spot you.
Now, I'm surprised at you, Buck. I mean, you always told me that you got to think ahead. Now, I've got a couple of notions of my own.
Gentlemen, Mr. McCune is ready to talk to you.
Hey, where's the other one?
What other one?
You know what other one? The cowboy.
Well, right now, CJ, I'm trying to shut it off. What are you doing out here, anyway?
Well, I'm here because Murray got some very interesting information on Jessica Collier. Apparently, as fabulous as her father is at running Swingers International, she's the worst. She's about $40 or $50 million in debt to the boys, if you get my drift.
The boys that break your arms and legs when you don't pay up.
The same. She really needed that casino, Houston. Houston, why don't you try turning off the key?
That was going to be my next move, CJ.
Good. Meanwhile, Houston, the consulate called, and the king wants you to be there before 8 o'clock tonight.
That's when the kidnappers are going to call, 8 o'clock.
You got it.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Houston. I wanted to personally apologize for wasting your time and risking your life. I've told my secretary to mail you a check. I hope it will be satisfactory.
A check?
It's very simple. Your services are no longer required, Mr. Houston. It's over.
What happened? Is something happened to your son?
No, not yet. So far, the only thing that has happened is that allies played a great joke on me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I still don't understand you.
It was to be Abdul the Reformer. I who placed myself above my brother because he squandered his wealth. I was going to return the oil wealth of our country to the people, feed the hungry, clothe the poor, and then they stole my only son. In order to buy him back, I was ready to forget all, the hungry, the poor, everything.
You mean you're not going to pay the ransom?
Still don't understand, Mr. Houston. That's the great joke. I, Abdul the Reformer, went to loot the treasury. It was too late. The first of my reforms had already started. Mr. Houston, I don't have the money to ransom my son.
You can raise the cash somehow. I mean, there's got to be other sources.
Of course, but it would take time. By then, my son would be dead.
Abdul, look at me. Look at me. And no one is going to blame you for trying to save your son's life. Now, what are you going to tell them when they call back?
What can I say? I don't have the money. I could raise a few millions, but I wouldn't settle for that now.
Abdul, damn it. I will do anything. You just stall. I will deliver it.
You would, but how?
Listen, we can fill a suitcase full of newspaper, anything. We got to stall.
They'll kill you if they find out.
Listen, we have not got another choice right now. Now, come on. Go ahead.
This is Abdul.
Father?
Ali? How are you, Ali?
They're treating me all right. I'm cold. I don't feel very well.
You have heard he's alive? Do you have the ransom? All of it?
I have it all!
All in treasury certificates. They'll be delivered by a man named Matt Houston.
We will call again. 5 a.m. with final instructions.
How can I help you?
Well, for starters, how'd you do on the Mojave location?
Good and bad. There was a copter operating in the area that night, probably the one that picked up the boy and the kidnapper. The bad is...
Let me tell you, they don't have a flight plan and nobody knows who they are.
You got it.
Vincenzo! Vincenzo, è qui un'altra volta, eh? That crazy man, he just pulled up out front again.
Crazy man.
Ma quel matto là, the one who wears the bed sheets on his head. The one who says he wants to buy my restaurant.
Prince Fahad? What would he be doing here?
Well, I'm afraid that's my fault. See, I told him that you were crazy for Mama's Pizza.
You did?
Miss C.J. Parson, I called your house, your office, looking for you. Green emerald. For the green envy every woman must feel when she see your beauty.
You told him about those two?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Ah, Madame Noelle, please, 1,000 pardons. I make it 5 million for this lovely restaurant. 10 million. Price does not matter. It is a love offering.
Vince, I think I better be going now.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather catch a kidnapper tonight than have to make that delivery tomorrow. Anyway, I better start eliminating some of these suspects.
Suck time, Mr. Houston, leaving so soon.
Oh, yes, Prince, but I tell you what, I'll be talking to you real soon. Oh, listen, the emeralds and the pizza at work, she's crazy about you.
Hello.
You enjoy drinking alone?
Well, only when I know a pretty lady's gonna join me. A little, bubbly.
Thank you. On the phone, you said it was urgent. Had to do with Allie's life.
Oh, yes, it is urgent. Yeah, it's got to do with your life and my life and possibly how much money we're both gonna make out of this deal. You see, King Abdul wants me to deliver the ransom money. Well, you know all about that anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Jessica, I mean, you set up the whole kidnapping thing.
You're out of your mind.
Jessica, why don't you just knock it off? Your company's been going downhill ever since you took it over. You borrowed an awful lot of money from some people who get very nasty when you don't pay them back. You and your relationship with King Abdul, no, that sure didn't make it very hard to set things up, now did it?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I loved little Allie as if he were my own. I loved Abdul before. So I'm a lousy businesswoman, Mr. Houston. That doesn't make me a kidnapper. Someone who could turn on the people she loves. Abdul.
Sorry, Jessica.
I'm sorry, Jessica. We cannot take any chances. Now, what I told you on the phone is true. It is a matter of life and death. Ollie's.
This is Abdul.
Listen carefully. I'm only going to say this once.
Now, you listen to me, friend, for just one moment. Now, I know you're doing exactly what you're told. But I tell you, this thing could go a whole lot smoother and a whole lot faster if you just put your boss on the phone. Put Buck McEwen on the phone.
Hello, Matlock. Sorry to disappoint you.
Listen, Buck, it's not too late to turn this thing around. Just please let that boy go, all right? And I promise you, I will give you time to get away.
Bottom line, Matlock, I get the money or the boy dies.
Where and when?
Payphone, Griffith Park Observatory, 8 a.m. Of course, you know I'm going to have to put you through a few paces to make sure you're alone.
Houston.
Hello there, Matlock.
Hello, Buck.
Look, old buddy, there's no point in either one of us getting hurt. Just remember I taught you most of what you know.
Yeah, when did you forget the most important things she taught me, Buck? Like honesty and the value of one man's word to another.
Now, here's the bottom line. If you look across the street, you'll see a motorcycle. Just go in the direction it's pointed. You take the first fire road. You got 4 minutes to get to the payphone at the bottom of the fire road. Otherwise, the boy's never going to be seen again.
Payphone at the bottom of the fire road, Ben. I'm sorry, ladies. Are you all right?
I'm all right, Vince. I just took a little spill. Houston.
The path in front of you leads to the miniature train depot. You got 3 minutes to reach the payphone.
On my way to the miniature train, Vince.
Houston, where the hell are you?
Listen, you gotta know I'm by myself right now. Now, come on, what do you say you slow the pace down a little bit?
You see the bus stop across the street? Be a bus along any minute. Beyond it.
Get the bus, Vince. As soon as I know where it's going, you'll be the first to know.
Hey, Matlock, I trained you pretty good. Not you, just the money.
No, without the boy, Buck.
I'll use it if I have to, and I don't want to hurt you.
Listen to me, Buck. That boy has not got a chance unless he gets to a doctor in a hurry.
Put in the money, or the boy hasn't got a chance.
Listen, kid. How'd you like to rent your van? Here's my card, and, well, here, take all of it. I appreciate it, thanks.
Awesome, Mr. Houston.
Head for the airport. Make sure the plane's ready. Cakewalk all the way. How's the boy doing?
Piece of cake. We've been hacked.
What are you talking about?
I told you not to bring him in on this. But you had to show off. Let them investigate. You never suspect us, Dan.
Just put it down, all right? There's no use. Now give it up!
He's right, Krieger. It's over. It's all over.
Only if I go to prison. There are only two people who can do that. I'm gonna kill.
Krieger! Boy, that was pretty stupid, wasn't it? Don't let the medics get to me, okay? Couldn't handle prison.
Buck, why'd you do it?
Too many things, too many places. And that was a chauffeur, a private jet, brass ring. I just could never catch the brass ring. Hey, Madeline. Don't be mad, huh?
Buck. You're gonna be all right, son. Come on.
Where's Buck McEwen?
Inside, Vince. You saved my life again.
How do you ever get on to Buck in the first place?
Process of elimination. Once he decided Jessica Collier didn't do it, he checked into the background of Prince Fahad and discovered that he couldn't have organized a Cub Scout raid on a marshmallow hunt.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll tell you, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, we were still living in Lubbock at the time. They had a minor league ball club there, and these guys were just terrific. There's one guy on that team that was so good. Oh, he was my favorite. I remember one Saturday morning, I took off real early, and I ran all the way down there, and I got my little autograph book, you know, and I stuck it out, and, you know, get those autographs, and there he is. He's coming across the field at me. Just as big as life. And I ran up to him, and I stuck that book out, you know, I was all smiles and everything. And he said, "Why don't you get the hell out of my way?" You know. And oh, that's some feeling. I don't think I'll ever forget that. I don't think I've ever felt worse in my life. Up until now. Listen, everybody, I'm sorry. I'm being kind of a wet blanket tonight.
You don't have to explain nothing, Houston. Actually, we stopped by to try to cheer you up. Got some good news about Beulah.
Beulah? Fellas, I forgot all about Beulah. Is she still coming after you?
Well, she was, till I outslickered her. I sent word that I'd joined the Peace Corps.
He said he'd been sent off to Africa. And Houston, that woman's so dumb, she took every word of it.
Lamar? Lamar Pettibone, where are you hiding? Lamar? Lamar Pettibone?
Sorry, Mr. Burnham, we're going to have to check your briefcase.
Didn't he tell you clowns that today's Saturday?
Good morning.
Sir, if you would just...
Ah, what's the use here? Keep it. Compliments of Herman Burnham. Your boss will probably think I stole it from him anyway.
We'll have to have your identification badge also.
Anything but love, baby. Have a nice day.
No. No, I don't care what it costs. I can't lose those proxies.
Joey's here.
Hello, Joey.
Hello, boss. Here's your mail.
Thank you, Joey.
Have a nice day.
I can't believe this. I mean, you're destroying the magic. We're so close to being finished.
Close. You are finished. I've got the proxies. I am taking over the company, bringing it back to reality before you or my brother bankrupts it. Now, here's a bulletin. It's over.
No, it's not over. Joey's world is my life, and I'm not letting you throw it away.
Hello, John Gordon. Here's the mail for the lab.
Thank you, Joey 3.
Have a nice day. I love you, John Gordon. I can't give you anything but baby. Hello, beautiful. Joey's here.
I wish you'd stop doing that.
I have a special delivery for your boss.
Go right in.
I can't give you anything but love, baby.
No, by tomorrow. Right.
Joey's here. Have a nice day. I can't give you anything but love.
The last 2 weeks, Murray had been screaming at Houston about spending too much time on his detective agency and none on his empire. So today, Houston promised Murray they'd spend the whole day catching up on a logjam of paperwork. But what Houston didn't know was that 2 hours ago, Murray's entire life had been turned upside down.
Houston, thank God you're here. There's not a moment to spare.
Well, now, slow down, Murray. We got all day. I specifically set this whole day aside to read all that needs reading, sign all that needs signing, and generally exec everything that needs exec.
No, you can't.
What do you mean I can't?
Houston, I want to hire you as a detective.
You want a what?
Well, you heard him. You want a what?
It's an important case. And I have to warn you, should you decide to accept this assignment, it could be dangerous. But Houston, I think you're the man for the job.
Well, thank you, Murray. Why don't we talk about this inside?
In a way, of course, it's your fault. You might keep that in mind when we discuss your fee.
We'll consider it kept in mind, Murray. Now, what's your problem?
You know I'm one of the trustees for the Meadowwood Children's Home.
Oh, I remember when you volunteered to help and you invested some money for them. Hoyt Electronics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because John Gordon Boyd had just signed on to head Hoyt Electronics' video division. It was Houston who showed me the newspaper article. It was his suggestion, in a way.
Well, Murray, I don't give stock tips, but I do know who John Gordon Boyd is. The man's a genius, and everybody around him is going to make buckets of money.
Unless he's arrested for murder.
You want to pass that one by me once again?
Willie Hoyt, vice president and co-owner of Hoyt Electronics, was murdered less than 2 hours ago. Now, the information I have is sketchy, but John Gordon Boyd seems to be a prime suspect.
Well, is there any reason why they suspect him more than anybody else?
It was his robot who did the killing.
His robot, as in mechanical creature?
But of course, Houston, those people at the orphanage trusted me, and now their investment. Please, you've got to help me.
Murray, you got me. I'll do the best I can.
I mean, you'll do it?
Mm-hmm.
You'll take the case?
That's what I just said.
So what are we standing around here for? Come on. We got a case to solve, cowboy.
Well, Murray, I'd like to finish
Let's shake a leg, Houston.
Coffee. Yes, sir.
A few years ago, when Houston met John Gordon Boyd, he was, and still is, one of the world's few authentic 200 IQs. Still in his teens, he became a legend of the video game industry and the creative backbone of Hoyt Electronics.
There's John Gordon. Now tell me, does that look like the face of a killer?
Murray, have you ever heard of Babyface Nelson?
You're a pretty boy, Floyd.
Billy the Kid, and I'm sorry I asked.
Gee, I couldn't believe my ears when Murray called and said you were coming out.
Well, he said you might be in a little bit of trouble, so we decided to wander out. Listen, this is C.J. Parsons. She's my top lawyer and a good person to have around.
I know what to say. I mean, all you being out here. Nobody's ever gone to bat for me before.
Have you ever been in trouble before?
Hello. Please get out of the car, gentlemen. Ma'am?
What's this?
All callers' cars must be searched upon entering or leaving the premises.
Well...
In addition, I need you to wear these identifying badges on your person in plain sight at all times. Oh, look, please wear the badge. I'd even be stopped if I wasn't wearing one.
Houston, the video game business is a multi-billion-dollar business, but it's a competition of ideas. First one with a Pong or a Pac-Man wins all the marbles.
Mm-hmm. Mary's right. And the industrial theft of ideas is a major problem, so obviously the security has to be intense. While you're on the premises of Hoyt Electronics, you will not stray from restricted areas. I'll orient them.
Listen, I'll just pull my car around.
No, look, they'll have to park your car. More rules.
Listen, what happened out here this morning?
Well, Willie Hoyt called a meeting to discuss Joey's World.
Oh, Murray mentioned that. Now, what exactly is Joey's World?
It's the ultimate video game.
It's going to be life-size, Houston. It's incredible. You have to see it to believe it.
Anyway, at the meeting, Willie Hoyt said he was going to take control of the company and cancel Joey's World. I don't know. I'm afraid I threatened him.
Yeah, well, don't worry. The man wasn't threatened to death. He was shot to death. Well, why don't we take a look around, huh?
Right? Whoa!
Why did you shoot him? What am I doing? Do you believe this? I'm a grown man with a wife and 4 kids. I'm supposed to be taking fishing, and I'm here interrogating a tin can.
Don't handle him like that.
It's only a toy.
Robots are not toys. They're changing our world. They're doing the jobs that we don't want to do.
Really? What job didn't you want to do?
John Gordon, why don't you and I talk privately as your possible lawyer?
Don't you see? I mean, Joey 3 delivers mail, but I could adjust him to arc-weld car bodies or dispose of toxic waste in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, how about firing a gun? How long would that take you to rig?
The possibilities are infinite.
I'll keep that in mind.
CJ, why don't you take John Gordon for a little walk?
Great idea. John Gordon, why don't you and I take a little walk?
Catch up with you in a minute.
It's a spooky kid.
Well, Vince, he's a dreamer. I mean, he sees things a little differently than most of us. How's this little fella work?
You just talk to him. He's got some kind of voice programming or something. It sounds complicated, but it isn't. Anybody can give him instructions by inserting a tape cassette.
Anyone, huh? What's your name?
Joey, what's yours?
Got Matt Houston. I'm a friend of John Gordon's.
John Gordon's a nut, but I love him anyway.
Why'd you kill Willie Hoyt?
Want to try a rubber hose?
Come on, Vance. Feeling okay, Joey?
All systems are go.
How long you worked here, Joey?
I was born here.
Well, listen, have you got any idea who put that gun in your hand?
Why didn't he answer?
I don't think he knows. A robot can only respond with information that's been programmed into him.
So in other words, he's got no memory of the murder because that information's not on the tape that's inside of him.
That's right.
So how'd he fire the gun?
That's a very good question, Vance.
John Gordon would like Mr. Houston to meet him in Joey's World.
Well, lead the way. Another one.
It's okay, Riley. He's with me.
Next, we have Richard Hoyt, the dead man's older brother. Apparently, the two brothers built the company up together, but young Willie objected to the money being used to develop Joey's World. So he and a couple of the other shareholders were about to take over the company.
Uh-huh. So Richard was on his way out. Yeah, well, people have been known to kill for less.
You bet. Now, here we have Herman Burnham, the owner of Burnham Electronics and Hoyt's #1 competition.
Yeah, I know him. He tried to get me into a business deal one time.
Well, from the tone of your voice, it doesn't sound like it was a barrel of laughs.
Yeah, about as much fun as finding a diamondback rattler in your boot. CJ, that man's a crook. From what I hear, he left Hoyt Electronics just 5 minutes before the murder.
And last but not least, we have the deceased secretary, Miss Glynis Duran. She's single, impeccable credentials. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with her, CJ.
That figures. expensive for a secretary, doesn't it?
Sure does. Rent! Rent! CJ, I'm getting a funny feeling.
I know what you mean.
Better check upstairs. Mr. Rant!
This one's for the police, Houston.
You might be right. Look at this. Blueprints. Now, CJ, would you look at here? These were taken out of Joey's world.
They certainly were. What did she want, besides your best side?
Hey! Stop doing that.
Good idea.
She hadn't done that.
Do you recognize him?
Yeah, it's Hoyt Electronics' chief rival and the favorite crook, Burnham. Is Mr. Burnham home?
How would you like to have your head stuffed through your collar?
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, not really. Listen, yeah, if I could you... Yeah, listen, now, and you really don't understand this. See, I'm just a passing motorist. And I was going by, I saw Mr. Burnham's name on the mailbox and thought he might like to know that his car's on fire. Oh, it's a big fire. I think you better take a look at that.
Houston, what are you doing here? As far as you're concerned, I'm in South America.
No, you're not, Herman. Especially since you took the photos out of Miss Duran's house. You see, where I come from, they call that breaking and entering.
Only if the lady presses charges.
Yeah, wait a minute. Would you explain that for me?
What I meant was I met Glynis at the Hoyt place, and she seemed like a nice lady, that's all.
I get it now. Yeah, you bribed her to spy for you.
So what? I mean, Hoyt stole from me, too. That's part of my business. You don't think so? Look at this. This is Joey's World. I'm Marvin's Maze. Two guys working on the same idea at the same time. Now, did he steal the idea from me? Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about honor among you two thieves. I'm talking about murder. You remember Willie Hoyt. Yes, he was murdered.
Now, why would I do that?
Because you're a greedy man. And I know that there are billions involved in this electronic video game business. And who comes first at it? Now, why don't you just tell me why you were at Hoyt Industries this morning?
I had a meeting with Richard Hoyt. Like Marvin's Maze, Joey's World is incredibly expensive to develop. So Richard wanted to bring me in as a partner, so we worked together. That way, maybe neither one of us would go broke.
Yeah, but Willie didn't want that. No, sir, he wanted to see Joey's World go down the tubes all the way. And I tell you something, that gives you a very good reason for wanting him dead.
That's true, but I didn't do it.
Blueprints? Photos of her boss. What's it mean?
Who are you and what are you doing in my house?
Well, I'm C.J. Parson, and Matlock Houston had dropped by earlier to talk to you.
How dare you? I'm calling the police.
Well, you don't have to do that, because I've already done it. But there are a few things we would like to discuss.
Oh, you would you?
Miss Durant, we can gather a great deal from those photographs, but...
Get out.
Well, you don't have to get riled up. We just want to ask you a few questions.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Novelli. I'd like to talk to you, too.
Do you have a warrant?
Why would I need a warrant? I was told this place was burglarized.
You were told wrong. Now I'd like you both to leave.
We do need to discuss those photographs.
Photography is my hobby. Any other questions?
I guess not.
Now, why would she ask for a warrant?
The lady asks good questions.
What lady?
Hi, Houston.
Hello there.
Well, this is it. This is where we're gonna build Joey's world. Isn't this wonderful?
Well, this is really nice.
Do you think when Walt Disney was a little boy, that he could see Disneyland, even without knowing exactly what it would be? That he could actually see all those wonderful things, what they would be someday?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I've always seen Joey's world. Why don't you just stop digging, Houston? I mean, just go away. Look, in a couple of days, the police will get tired, and that'll be that. Because I'll tell you, I just can't take the upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But I tell you something, the police are not just going to give up and go away until they find a killer, and I'm not either. You know what I mean? Mr. Hoyt, my name's Matt Houston.
Yes, I know. John Gordon told me about you.
Listen, I hate to bother you any more than I have to, but you see, my client's got a very big interest in Hoyt Industries, and while I've been looking into the death of your brother, I'm afraid I uncovered an industrial spy in your company.
A spy? Who?
Well, I'm afraid it's your brother's secretary, Glennis Duran.
I'm stunned. Do you think she or Burnham could be the one behind the killing?
Oh, you see, that's all very possible, but, yeah, let me remind you again now, this whole spy business is strictly for my client's interest. Now, it's very possible it could have been either one of them. For that matter, it might be John Gordon. As far as that goes, it might very possibly be you. But we'll keep in touch. CJ, I'll tell you what really bothers me, and that's that the cowboy code says that you cannot hit a smaller man. But I'll tell you something, in John Gordon Boyd's case, I'm about to make an exception.
Well, you don't know for sure that he broke your brake line.
Oh, come on, CJ, who else was there?
Well, you don't know for sure that anybody broke your brake line. You could have kicked up a rock and broken it yourself.
If I may make a suggestion?
Oh, come on, a rock? Oh, my Aunt Millie's armadillo.
Time is running out. And I beg to remind you that John Gordon Boyd is our client. That the orphans are depending on him. Therefore, wouldn't it be more constructive to direct your investigation elsewhere? Couldn't you make the murderer one of the other suspects?
Maybe you can hit a smaller man if he's smarter than you.
Now, Richard told me not to talk with you, Houston.
Yeah, well, Richard does not count right now. John Gordon, you are going to talk to me whether you like it or not.
Goodbye, Houston.
You just hold up.
What are you doing? This is ridiculous. You're wasting your time.
Now, John Gordon, you are going to talk to me.
What's going on? Wait
I'm going to find a baseball
What
bat.
are you doing? This is ridiculous. Will you let me down?
A piñata. John Gordon, you are going to talk to me.
All right, what do you want to know?
But first, I want to know why Richard told you not to talk to me.
Because you might find me guilty.
Well, are you guilty? I mean, did you kill Willie Hoyt?
Of course not. Look, Richard said with all your poking around, who knows what results you might come up with.
Hopefully the right ones. That's what I'm looking for. Now, Willie Hoyt was not the only one you did a number on. Now, why'd you try to kill me?
What are you talking about?
My brake line. You cut my brake line out on the hillside. Now, Hoyt and yourself were the only ones there, and I talked to him till I left. Now, it had to be you.
I don't know anything about your brake line. Why don't you ask Burnham?
Burnham?
Yeah, he was supposed to meet us out there, too.
Well, now, if you tell me Miss Glennis Duran was supposed to show up out there, I'd just figure it was a nice big family picnic.
She was there. Didn't you see her?
No, but maybe I should.
Oh, don't worry about it, Houston. Joey, will you please?
Immediately, John Gordon. What should we do to Mr. Houston?
See, Houston? My Joey's can do lots of things. You know, that really wasn't very nice of you to hang me up there. Not very nice at all.
Should we make him inoperative? We can dismantle him. We're waiting, John Gordon. We're waiting, John Gordon.
I'll talk to you later. Well, you're an industrious lady working on Sunday.
I'm cleaning out my office. I have been fired thanks to your meddling.
Oh, now, come on. You can't be angry at me for finding out you were spying for Burnham. I mean, that's my job.
You wouldn't understand. Anyway, it doesn't matter now that Willie's gone.
Willie? You called him Willie, not Mr. Hoyt?
What's the matter, Mr. Houston? Don't I look the part? That's right. I was Willie's lady. No one knew it. Now it doesn't matter if they know.
So you loved him, huh?
More than I could tell you.
I'll tell you something, it's easy to say that you love somebody, but I mean, really, here you are stealing all of his secrets and selling them to Burnham. I mean, unless he wanted you to steal those secrets and sell them to Burnham. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, because he would have done anything to keep Joey's world from getting off the ground. And Burnham double-crossed him, went in partners with Willie's brother, just to finish up Joey's world.
When Willie found out, he said he'd kill Burnham.
Yeah, unless Burnham got to him first. CJ, listen, get Holden the belly and tell him to meet me over at Burnham's. If I'm not mistaken, that man has just become our #1 candidate for killer.
Will do.
Right.
Bye.
You again? How do you keep getting past my man?
Well, you see, it's survival instincts. You see, I have this reverence for life, especially my own. You really ought to have the same reverence, Mr. Burnham.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you something. It's really quite simple. You can... Oh, now wait, listen. I'm just having a little chat with your boss here.
Call the police! Don't shoot! I didn't kill him! Don't shoot, please! I didn't kill him.
What are you doing with a gun in your hand?
I came to talk to Burnham. I heard shots. Look, I always carry a gun for my own protection.
Well, until we find out whether that gun shot Burnham, we're gonna have to take you in, Mr. Hoyt.
But...
Hello.
Hi. I'm here to see John Gordon Boyd.
Yes, please wear this badge in plain sight at all times and check in with the guard inside.
You bet. Hello? Hello? Guard? Oh, scared me. What happened?
You're to follow me.
I think I'll come back another time.
John Gordon's at Joey's World. I'm supposed to take you and Mr. Houston there.
Well, Mr. Houston isn't here right now, but I have an idea. I'll go get him, and...
Please, I'm supposed to give you something.
Ow!
It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me.
Murray? Murray, I didn't know you played the piano.
I got a little story I want you to know.
I didn't know you drank either.
My friend.
Must be that kind of night, huh? I think I'll join you.
Of a brief episode.
Listen, Murray, I can't tell you what a mess this whole thing is in. I mean, it's got me all mixed up. Now, I could have sworn it was John Gordon Boyd, and I could have sworn it was Burnham. But then here comes Richard Hoyt, bigger and alive, standing there with a gun in his hand. The only trouble is that gun wasn't smoking, no, sir. You see, he pulls up to Burnham's house, hears shots, gets scared, reaches in his glove box, grabs a gun, but he never fires it. The events in his lab proved that, and it just messed everything up. So who killed Hoyt? Who killed Burnham?
Want you to know.
Where's CJ?
My baby. And one more for the road.
Murray, what are all these documents here?
And one
Murray, that's the mortgage to your house.
For the... Mr. Matlock. All those poor little orphans out in the snow.
Murray, it doesn't snow here.
The children's home. They trusted me. They depended on me.
So you're gonna mortgage your house just to bail them out, huh?
They trusted me, Matlock. And tomorrow, the stock is gonna fall out of bed right down the old drain, and the orphans right along with him. You didn't solve the case. I don't blame you. It's not your fault. It's mine. Where's CJ?
I just asked you that, Murray.
Oh. That's right. She got a phone call. It sounded urgent. Meet John Gordon Boyd at the factory.
Well, it's a little late at night, isn't it?
John Gordon Boyd's secretary called. It sounded urgent.
Murray, John Gordon Boyd does not have a secretary.
CJ!
If you're looking for CJ, don't search high and low. Joey's World is the place to go.
Who's your voice today, Joey? Who sent you to fetch me?
Follow me if you want CJ alive.
You get me to CJ. This isn't funny anymore, Joey.
Well, when the stock market opened on Monday, Hoyt Electronics stock was as solid as ever. With the arrest of Glynis, John Gordon was cleared, and soon, his dream of Joey's World would be a reality.
Listen, thank you.
Now, Houston, you scratch your John Hancock on this one and we're done. Murray, good to see you. You'll be thrilled to know that we're all through with our work. Murray?
Maybe I found him like this, you see. I tell you, he looks like a fish that's been on the creek bank for several days. Are you feeling any better, Murray?
Houston, that brandy. I will never, never, never drink again. I swear to you, I will never touch another drop. What's this? Someone's got the same name I do.
It's not the same name, Murray. It's for you.
Yeah, listen, Murray. Maybe you shouldn't look at that right now. I mean, there's a better time.
It's a bill from you.
Well, Murray, you did hire Houston, so we thought we ought to itemize things a bit for you.
Murray, hold on. Just
a deal's a deal.
Listen, Murray. It's just a joke. The whole thing's a joke.
A joke.
better cock your pistols.
Thank you. Hello, Tabby. Hello, my little darling. How are you? Little hors d'oeuvre, huh? Here we go. Beautiful for you. Tabby, come back here. Come back here. Tabby, I've got something for you, Tabby. Come on, Tabby. Here we go. I know where you are. Come on. Tabby.
Matt Houston used to say, if the best things in life are free, how come everyone's always squabbling over the money? And boy, were the squabbles out today.
I
know, but if you tell me how much...
What's going on in there?
They've been there an hour. Sir, I just have a couple of papers for you to sign. It's nothing important. May I, sir?
Oh, help yourself, Murray. Listen, I don't believe I've ever seen you take a drink before.
Oh, just at weddings. Wakes.
Murray, what is going on in there?
Would you excuse me just a minute? Thank you.
How long are you going to be?
Girls,
CJ, what'd you get me into?
Well, now, Houston, you're a man who's fascinated by intriguing cases. Well, this one's a dilly. Do you remember reading in yesterday's paper about the death of that cat food millionaire?
Well, who could forget? I mean, they're right in the middle of Beverly Hills. A man gets mauled to death by his favorite tiger.
Yes, William, folks call him Felix Randolph. One of the richest men in America, married 4 times, divorced 4 times.
You mean that's what's out there right now?
You got it. Wives 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, my heart, be still.
Can we get this show on the road? We have been waiting long enough. Who's this, your gardener?
Matlock Houston. May I present the first Mrs. Randolph, presently known as Mrs. Lauren Calder, Matlock Houston.
Well, you will have to do. Now, we have a problem. One of us murdered Felix, and we want to hire you to find out who. Can we hurry up? I have to go.
Zizi Tabori, wife number 2.
I have a very important date with my masseur.
Did she say murder?
Don't be shocked if we don't seem grief-stricken, Mr. Houston. You see, Felix was the world's nastiest man.
To know him was to hate him.
This is one thing we all agree on.
Except for me. I loved him.
Oh, brother.
Say hello to number 4.
Hi.
I did. For a little while.
The acting lessons are beginning to pay off. Of course, the wringing hands clutched to the bosom may be a little too much.
At least I have a bosom to clutch.
Now.
Ladies, please.
It's a miracle of modern medicine.
Don't give away secrets, girls. Gravity gets us all in the end.
You're right, darling. We followed you in.
Darling.
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 Zizi.
Ladies, just hold your horses for a minute. CJ, please.
Well, Felix Randolph had a will. Now, in that will, he insisted that someone was trying to murder him.
That's the word I heard.
One of his ex-wives. Now, obviously, he didn't want the murderer to profit from his death, so...
None of us gets a nickel until the guilty one is found. Until then, all the money goes to the support of his cats.
$70 million.
You see, Felix was one of those lovely husbands who played cat and mouse, the rat.
So, we need you to find out which one of them, or us,
You.
killed him, and then to settle the will.
To tell the truth, Mr. Houston, we all need the money.
Ladies, I'll tell you what. We'll take a look at all the details
right,
in
we'll
the
go,
will and its provisions.
Would you hurry it up, cowboy, because as Miss Goody Two-Shoes said, we all need the bucks.
Right.
Support the cowboys.
I have to see you alone. I have to see you.
All right.
Look, I think I can help you solve this case.
Bye-bye. CJ, I want to have a word with you.
You bet.
You know, CJ, 4 ex-wives and a whole bunch of big cats is not exactly my style.
Well, I know, Houston, but if it'll make you feel any better, he didn't do too well himself. Now, here you have Felix Randolph, famous cat food millionaire, owned the largest private reserve of cats in the world, not to mention 4 big cats who just left your office.
Yeah, I guess you could call him the fearless feline foursome.
Yes, you could. Good.
You could.
Apparently, all parties got what they deserved because the word vanity, that's Felix. He took 4 or 5 showers a day, loved to splash himself with cologne. Ironically enough, it's called Crown Jaguar.
CJ, the man ran a private zoo. He must have known the danger that's involved with that. Now, why do the police think it's murder?
Apparently, Novelli had a conversation with this young man, Buddy Young. He tends to the animals. He's a very simple kid, but he's very sweet. And he insists that all the big cats are kept under lock and key all the time.
It means the killer cat had to be let out of the cage.
So it seems.
Yeah.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go out to Felix's Beverly Hills cat farm, see what I can find out. Now, meanwhile, you dig up what you can on the ex-wives. If we're lucky, we'll find out that they all did it. Hello there. Anybody home? Help! Help! Somebody! Hello? Anybody home?
No way now. Pasha? Bad boy? Back in your house. Good. It's okay now. I'm sorry. I let him out when I was washing the cage. I think you scared him. That's why he growled.
In fact, is this the tiger that killed Felix Randolph?
They're gonna take him away. They're gonna put him to sleep. Pasha's a good tiger. He's pretty old, though, but he doesn't see so well anymore. He used to let Mr. Felix pet him.
Mr. Randolph used to pet this tiger?
A long time ago. Maybe tigers forget. They're not like elephants.
Well, hello, Vince.
Hello, Houston. What are you doing out here?
Well, some folks asked me to look into this.
Hello, Lieutenant Novelli.
Hi, buddy. Listen, son, we're going to ask you to come along with us.
Where?
Down to the station. We want to talk to you down there about Mr. Randolph and how he was killed.
But I told you already. What's the matter?
Gently.
Vince, what's going on here?
Buddy, I have to arrest you for the murder of Mr. Randolph.
Me?
Put him in the car and read him his rights.
I don't believe this.
I didn't do it. I wouldn't hurt nobody. Who's gonna water the animals?
For crying out loud, Vince, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, don't make me feel any worse than I already do.
The kid knows no more about murder than a hog knows about a buggy whip. Now, won't you tell me what's going on?
Give me a better suspect. Nothing would make me happier.
I believe I'll do that.
By morning, we dug up the personal histories on Felix's ex-wives. The info on Ava, his last wife, was short and to the point. Felix had gone to Las Vegas on a toot and had tooted just a bit too much, waking up in a hotel room with a hangover and a new bride formerly fourth from the right on the chorus line.
Hello? Anybody home? No. That girl's hurting.
No. Listen.
Oh, Mr. Houston. Come on in. We'll continue later. I'm so glad you've come. I just heard the good news. They arrested the guilty man. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, it isn't wonderful, that poor, simple boy. But at least now we get to go ahead and collect our inheritances.
Well, I wouldn't get too excited about that just yet, because I'm not real satisfied that the poor, simple boy is guilty.
What? But... not satisfied?
No.
I mean, the police are.
Police have the boy's head on a chopping block, but they haven't chopped it off yet. Now, you told me you wanted to talk to me at the office. Something about helping me solve this case?
Well, that was before Buddy was arrested. I thought I knew who did it. I thought it was Lauren. Lauren Calder, his first wife. She really hated him.
Is that right?
She was supposed to get some kind of a loan from him for something to do with her company, Crown Jaguar.
Crown Jaguar Cologne?
That's part of it. It's a whole cosmetics company. She started it after her divorce from Felix.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he used to wear this Crown Jaguar cologne all the time, right?
Of course. He only did it to drive us other wives crazy. He always played one against the other.
Oh, now back to the loan. Did she get it?
Felix promised it to her, and then he didn't give it to her. He did things like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
She went through the roof. She threatened him. He told me. And she's tough. I really think she'd... if any of us did it, it was her.
Well, that's interesting. That's real interesting. First, we got the poor, simple boy that did it. Then we got wife number one that did it. Now, why don't you let me ask you a question? Why didn't you do it? I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. You're the one that loved him. Happy trails.
Are you making fun of me?
I don't do that to people.
Look, you didn't know Felix. He toyed with people. He played games with them. This whole thing with the will, it's just a cruel game to keep the money from us. This is just like him.
Well, you're the one that keeps insisting that you loved him.
He said he'd put me in the movies. He gave me singing lessons and dancing lessons and acting lessons, and then he laughed at me when I showed him what I could do. I'm glad he's dead. He deserved to die.
Did you kill him?
You're leaving. And don't you come back here. And don't you upset her ever again.
It's okay, John. Mr. Houston, this is John, my physical culturist and executive producer.
Executive producer.
Well, he'll be my executive producer when we make the film, after we get the money from the estate to make the film.
It just goes to show you that talent will out, huh? Bye now.
Yeah, CJ, just checking up on you. Listen, did you get Buddy bailed out of jail yet?
About 2 hours ago, we took him right back to the estate.
Tell him. Tell him. Tell him how much.
That's Murray saying hello.
$200,000 bail! What's that?
That's Murray sending his regards, Houston.
Oh, you straightened that hem. Good. That looks pretty. All right, thank you. You all look very nice. Tell Alfred we may do some stills today.
You will confine your meeting to the time Miss Calder allows.
You're very protective of your boss, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why, Mr. Houston, perhaps you're just in time to give us a man's point of view.
Well, I believe they all ought to get a 10.
The perfume they're wearing. You have a nose for scents?
Well, I'm willing to learn.
Well, would you mind? Give us your opinion as to whether or not the fragrance fits the occasion. For instance, game time, our little beachwear girl over there, and on the end, the evening dress.
Well, I'm willing to give it a whirl. Game time, huh? You seem like the athletic type.
I'm a real good sport.
I'll bet you are. Something you knitted in your spare time? Tell me something. What happens when it hits the water?
When you get it wet, it shrinks.
Evening. Oh, boy, what a nice way to end the day.
Perfume, Mr. Houston.
Oh, right. Sorry. It all seems to match up fine. I like it a lot.
Thank you. You report photography.
555-2200.
I understand you've been seeing an awful lot of your ex-husband lately. Something to do with money?
It's no secret. Larger companies been trying to take me over. I could have stopped them in their tracks if he'd co-signed a loan, but he strung me along and then pulled out at the last minute. Now I'm in a proxy fight and I'm in danger of losing my own company.
Well, I would imagine a company like this would take a lot of years of a person's life, huh?
It is my life, and Mr. Houston, make no mistake about it. I intend to keep it. I will do anything to keep it. Now, if anybody had a reason to kill Felix, I did. I married Felix when I was 16. Oh, he was no millionaire then. He was a butcher's helper. I collected the scraps and ground them into cat food, and I went out and peddled to the housewives, and I made the deals, and I built that fortune the same as he did.
And you needed a loan from him, right?
$20 million just till the end of the month. Instead, he'd let me sink and laughed at me all the while.
Well, now that he's dead, you'll inherit at least that much, won't you?
Houston, I built 2 fortunes. Do you really think I'd kill him to get out of a jam? No, I didn't kill him. But I dedicate a statue to the one who did.
Who might the statue look like?
Darling, can't you guess?
I see.
Mr. Houston was just leaving.
Oh, that's my favorite suit. Thank you.
Bart, something I want you to attend to.
Yes, ma'am.
Why would Buddy try to kill me when I put up his bail? I just can't believe it. I can't believe what he did.
Lieutenant, you gotta get out an APB. A 10-4, whatever you call it. You gotta get men out there, cops and cars.
Murray, we don't need to send out the Marines.
Oh, sure. Joke about it. But we put up the bail money. $200,000. That kid ran off with $200,000 of your money.
Murray, don't get ahead of yourself. Nobody runs off until they don't show up in court.
Every minute we're talking, that kid's running. Our money is getting further away. I can't make them understand.
Murray!
Our money...
Would you get me some coffee, please? Sure. No, not this kind. You know the kind I love. The kind I drank at the Oiler games.
You want me to go to Houston to buy you a cup of coffee?
Right.
You're kidding.
Right. Murray, I'm feeling kind of low.
Gotcha.
Houston, I appreciate you've got a big heart. But I told you you were playing with fire when you bailed that kid out.
Vince, I can't see him in jail.
Well, where is he now? And Murray was right about one thing. I gotta put an all-points bulletin out on that kid.
Oh, come on now, Vince. That's getting a little dangerous. I mean, we're not dealing with Jack the Ripper here.
I know. Houston, he tried to kill you.
You can't put him in custody, Vince. The boy does not communicate very well. I'm afraid he's going to do the wrong thing.
I gotta put out an APB. I'll add a caution.
That kid had to know I was trying to help him.
He probably went back to the estate. From everything you've told me about him, he isn't very comfortable outside the world he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's got to be an explanation for what he did. Now, what are the possibilities?
Somebody put him up to it.
Or he's trying to cover for somebody. Whatever it is, that's what we got to find out.
Obviously. Felix's third wife was the ultimate mating machine, the gold-digging, jet-setting, mind-boggling Zizi Tabori. It was a wild ride while it lasted. Today, she runs the Aphrodite Health Farm.
I know who you are. You're Matt Houston.
Right.
I know what this is about, and I don't want you upsetting her. It's about that filthy ex-husband of hers. If you want to lay that on someone, lay it on one of the other wives. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Now, listen, I hate talking to myself.
Or you'll have to deal with me. Get it?
Clear.
I want to be sure we understand each other. I hate to get rough.
I just want to ask her a couple of questions, if it's all right with you.
She's in there.
Thanks.
Oh, remember what I said about getting rough?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to chance that.
Karate!
Hello, darling. All right, boys, stop it a moment. I was expecting you.
So I understand.
What can I do for you?
Well, just the obvious.
You think that I killed Felix and that I would profit from his death. Well, of course I would. I'm mortgaged to the hilt. If this goes on much longer, I will have to dismiss all these wonderful masseurs of mine. Don't worry, my darlings. I'd rather walk the street than let you go. But thank God, the simple boy done the job for me. By the way, do you know that the simple boy only takes orders from his mother?
You mean Buddy? I don't believe I met his mother.
Well, we really don't know who his mother is. He's an orphan. But the lady he calls his mother is Felix's third wife. We call her the Saint. You see, she had an orphanage years ago. And that's where the simple boy was raised. And that's where he learned how to treat wild animals. That's why he was on the estate.
Well, thank you. I think.
together, please.
It's Ahern.
Mr. Houston, well, what brings you down here?
Well, I tried to get you at the house, and they told me I'd run into you out here. See, I'd kind of like to talk to you about Buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's true, but you see, there's some people that say Buddy would kill for you. Is that right?
That's a terrible thing to say.
Well, I know that, but do you think he would?
I should have killed Felix. You know that? He's hurt everybody he's ever touched. He even wanted to pull the plug on the children's home. End it all. Just like that. Of course, he owned the land. And I don't have any other money. Not real money. Not what it would take.
Listen, did Buddy know that?
I guess so. When I go over to the house, he'd hear the screaming. Me begging Felix, him laughing, and me cursing him.
Listen, do you know where he is?
Buddy?
Yeah.
Well, the police asked that same question.
Listen, you got to talk to me. I care an awful lot about Buddy, and I'm just trying to help him. Can you tell me where he is?
Well, there are only a couple of places he'd go. The estate, of course, with animals. And the home. And he used to come here to play miniature golf. Buddy doesn't have any friends. He can play miniature golf alone.
Buddy! Hang on a minute, I want to talk to you. Buddy! Sorry. Here, give me that rope, Bert. Trying to kill, Buddy? You or me?
I wouldn't hurt nobody, especially not Mr. Houston. I would never have crashed you. I promise. Just scare you off.
Why, Buddy?
I know about Mr. Felix's will. You don't think so, but I know. How Mr. Houston was supposed to see if one of Mr. Felix's wives was a murderer.
Tell me something. Why would that make you want to scare me?
Because they told me on the phone.
Who told you?
I don't know, but they told me. You want to blame it on my mother.
Was it a man's voice?
A woman's voice.
I don't remember.
Buddy, this is a murder case. Are you aware of the fact that you are still under indictment and we are trying very hard to clear you?
Oh, it's all right. A jury won't convict me.
Buddy, do you know something we don't know? Why won't a jury convict you?
Because I didn't do it.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing? Pecorito, this isn't the pine forest. This is a piece of Italy. When you smell the cheese, you know. When you smell the oil, you know. The smell here is part of everything. Via con...
Oh, Mama, come here. Come here.
Hey, what's that for?
It's because I owe you one, Mama.
Oh, I love it. So owe me again?
How's that?
I'll tell you after you tip me again. Simpaticone.
You know, tips like that can starve a girl.
Hey! You got your diet, I got mine. Zikta?
Listen, Vince, I think I got it. I think I've got it. It's been haunting me all the time. Tell me something. How do you train a house pet, whether it's a tiger or not, to be a killer?
That's easy. The 3 S's.
Right. Sight, sound, and smell. Go on, buddy. Tell him.
If you beat a dog, he's gonna hate you on sight. If you blow a whistle, every time you take his food away, he's gonna hate that sound.
And the 3rd S is smell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you can train an animal by a certain smell. Ah.
Now, you remember the coroner's report? The strong smell of cologne.
Now, buddy, this is the bottle of Crown Jaguar cologne that we took off Felix's dressing table.
Yes.
And this is the stuff that he wore all the time, all day long, every day.
He always wore it.
He wore this stuff when he used to pet and feed the tiger, right?
He always wore the same thing.
All right, let's try something, buddy. Little that on there. CJ. Now, that is the bottle that we found on Felix's body the morning he was killed. That's the bottle. Advance. Oh, look at that. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Now, that bottle has been tampered with, and I think it's going to tell us who killed Felix. CJ, I want you to get on the horn, call the 4 ex-wives, and get them out here as soon as possible.
You get them here voluntarily? You gonna sell tickets?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I reckon you all know why you're here.
Here comes the Charlie Chan scene.
Charlie who?
Yeah, well, it is sort of like that. You see, I figure in order to catch the killer, I got to get all my suspects right here in one spot.
Marvelous, darling. You expect one of us just to jump up and confess?
Well, not exactly like that, no.
Well, I can hardly wait to see how you're going to do this.
Me too. Now, let's talk about some facts here, folks. Now, all of you had a very good reason for wanting Felix dead. You built up his business in a day and age where the little woman was supposed to stay at home and give him all the credit, not to mention all the money. Now, when you went to him for a loan, small loan of $20 million to keep your new business afloat, he just kind of smiled and walked away.
Man was right in character.
Yeah, yes, he was. And you needed a loan to save your school and the orphans. And just for fun, he said no.
He was a real sweetheart.
Yes, he was. You two, you're mortgaged to the hilt.
Huh.
You have an alternative lifestyle, and you just want to be a star and cut a new record.
I'm 22, for crying out loud. I don't have a lot of time left. Oh.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But anyway, folks, that's it. All the motives are right here. Now, you all had very good access to this place.
Access for what reason?
To fix it so the tiger could kill Felix.
Listen, darling, you beautiful thing. Did it ever occur to you, police genius, that maybe it was an accident? Maybe the gate was left open. And maybe it was that simple boy.
No!
Oh, well, I don't think so. See, I believe it was murder.
Oh, my God, that's Pasha! Don't run. Move away slowly. You'll attack.
How did it get loose? I don't see why you guys are so afraid of Pasha. It's just a great big pussycat.
Past tense, darling. Have you forgotten that Pasha ate Felix for breakfast a few days ago?
Wonderful for him.
ZZ, maybe you could tell me something. Have you ever heard of the phrase programmed to kill?
Programmed? What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you, it's called teaching an old tiger new tricks, and I believe that was your job, wasn't it, Richard?
Job?
Well, you see, while ZZ was keeping Felix busy up there in the house, you were training that tiger to hate your special brew perfume. Hated enough to kill anybody that was wearing it.
Darling, beautiful thing. You have no proof.
Well, then you wouldn't mind if I just gave you a little spritz of Felix's cologne, huh? Yeah, well, I think that about does it. Buddy, come on out of there, buddy.
Why didn't Pasha kill me?
Well, I'll tell you, that's because this isn't really the death bottle. It's down at police headquarters where it belongs. This is just an ordinary bottle right off the shelf.
Stupid me. And you even more stupid.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, you got it, gentlemen. It's all yours.
Kidnapping!
Come here.
Oh!
Look, this is pointless. I don't want to hurt you at all right? Vince, come on now. Let's get this thing over with, okay?
Didn't you call him?
He's supposed to be here right now. Vince! Vince!
Kidnapping!
Tiger!
The old point to the tiger trick, huh?
Works every time.
But, Mr. Houston, all this should be receipted. I will get the names and addresses and issue checks.
Murray, checks take forever. You see, the people who sell popcorn and handle the boat rides in this world all have bills to pay right now. Just pay them what I owe them from yesterday.
If you insist.
Yes, I do. I insist. Now, also, you tell them that the orphan kids have got a free running tab at their places until this runs out. And when it does, tell them they can come back for more.
Sir, these are $100 bills.
Right. Good night, Murray.
Good night, sir.
You know what's so terrific about working with you, Houston?
What's that?
Everything. Just think what you've accomplished in the last couple of days. Buddy and Pasha have both been reprieved from their death sentences.
Yeah, not to mention the ex-wives got all her money.
And St. Audrey got that palatial estate, which is a perfect place for her to expand her orphan home facilities.
Don't forget about Lauren. She's a cinch to win her proxy fight.
And if the cover Variety is correct, little Ava's about to make her very own movie.
Oh, boy. Let's not forget Zizi. I think it's going to be an awful long time before she gets another massage.
I suspect you're right. Now, if you and Vince Novelli could only synchronize your watches when it comes to trapping a killer.
Oh, either that or just always have Tiger with us, huh? Or maybe not.